You asked for it, you've begged for it, and now it's here, the album of the century. Sean Connery's greatest hits.
Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching my hair falling away. Wait, that's a bald joke.
Yes, the acting legend's personal favorite, sung straight from the, heart.
Hot child in the shitty. You're running wild and looking pretty. Oh, hello.
Sean Connery. If you like his movies, you'll love his singing.
I want to wake up in the shitty that doesn't sleep. Wake up, you bastard!
Sean Connery's greatest hits. The sexy Scot at his very best.
Hello, Sean Connery here. Don't just shit there. Order my greatest shits. Hot in the shitty. Hot in the shitty tonight. Open the goddamn window already.
Sean Connery's greatest hits. From Haggis Records. Available now.
We got some old films, new films, any kind of shitty films. We caught it Tuesday night, so it's there in the morning. Least is a shaky ship, surprised he made it through the week. And then he turns his head and finds that Darren is snoring. Jim's on the other line, euphemisms all the time. While Mr. Rouse sits around sticking his claws in. Elton's got a heebie-jeebie spinning how he's doing wheelies. Winston's looking sheepish like he pissed on the floor again. All we want is a Connery impression. It's not narcolepsy if it's 1 in the morning.
Hello and welcome to the Black Dog number 350.
350?
Nothing.
Yes, 350.
350.
350.
Are you sure it's 350?
Okay, I shall have a look on Facebook. I was fairly sure it was 350.
Just a little seed of doubt in the head.
Are you sure?
Yes, 350. The Princess Bride.
Hey, good stuff.
That was the whole point of 350, going back and reviewing films which we had reviewed, review before.
We did done before.
Yeah, before Jim and Elton joined the team.
Way back in the mist of time.
Yes, and we did episode 54 from a random number generator, and it was this one.
It's all coming back now.
Oh, there you go.
The legend of Monkey was irrepressible.
Fantastic. So hello everyone. It's definitely 350. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim. I'm Elton.
And this week we will be doing a film what we done before in the past and stuff and shit when it was just two of us and a coat hanger.
Yes.
Holding one microphone together.
And some rolled up bits of newspaper with string coming out the back.
Exactly. And that,
a bit like Paul McCartney and George Harrison using the same microphone.
Yeah, that's right. Except they had talent and a lot of money.
And no coat hangers.
Hey, I've got all the £3.50 in my pocket. Don't knock it, sunshine.
Nice. Cool. Okay, well that's good. So you haven't collected on your chocolate deal then?
No, not yet. Well, it still hasn't got to the end of the month yet.
Does it stretch as far as fridge yogurts?
Oh, it will do. Yes. Yeah? It will do.
So that fridge yogurt that's on the side there.
It's not a yogurt, it's a milkshake, and I've checked it already for stuff. So.
Is it?
It is okay. It's fine. It's got no cocoa in it at all.
No cocoa.
No cocoa.
None at all.
None.
Not even in E numbers.
No, not even in E
sure?
numbers. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I've checked it out.
Pass it over here. Let's have a look.
Oh, God's sake.
No Cocoa Pops for breakfast.
No Cocoa Pops for breakfast.
No Cocoa Pops. I've not been anywhere near bloody...
Madame Coco's?
Yeah, Madame Coco's. I've not been near any of it.
He's reading it now.
I'm just double checking it.
He's reading that fridge.
No, things like fructose and...
Yeah, let's have a look.
Buttermilk.
Let's have a look.
Or buttermilk powder, maize.
Buttermilk? That's made 100% chocolate.
Oh, shut your face. You fucking stirrer. Sugar in it.
Isn't the whole point of going chocky free sort of like dropping your sugar content?
No,
isn't that the whole
I found
point?
ways around it. It's just
Isn't that the whole point?
no,
Substituting it.
because they talk about alternatives on the site as well. You can have to try and replace it.
And what's the charity you're doing it for?
It's the British Art Foundation. So
The British Art Foundation. You're eating something with massive amounts of sugar in it.
I've substituted sugar for lard. So
I feel that's
or
not quite.
substituted lard for sugar.
Maybe it's me, but that's maybe not quite the spirit of things.
Shut up. That's why.
If anybody would like to take their donations and hand it into the Black Dog Patreon.
Dear, oh dear.
Oh, Diabetes Anonymous.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you doing next? Diabetes.
Yeah.
The diabetes charity.
right.
Yeah, and you're eating nothing, drinking nothing but Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I'm doing a stay off cocaine thing by
taking a holiday to Colombia.
by drinking meths. So
Yeah.
there you go.
No horse April.
No, actually, I've been very good. I will say yes, I have. It's been hard, but
What about the challenge?
after it's kind of after a while you start not noticing it. It's yeah. I mean,
How's your cocoa? Good?
fuck off. It's tea, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. It's foamy cocoa. It's lovely.
Little did you know, Darren, I dropped a Twix bar into your cup.
I spiked it with some Kit Kat.
Ah, yes, Cadbury's buttons. Look,
Yeah.
plink plink.
Plink, plink, fizz.
No, if it's plink plink fizz and you're using some dodgy chocolate,
Yeah, it's dodgy.
is that the one made near Chernobyl?
Yeah, that's right. It's that. It's the same chocolate as you can get down a sort of like Richmond version of ZZ's
Oh, right, okay.
for Russian spies.
Shh, don't say that. They're listening.
Yeah, it's all right. Another one's died. Another oligarch's just mysteriously died, isn't he? In
Has he?
Yeah, in America.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So they're doing them. They're doing them on
Completely
American soil.
mysteriously.
Completely mysteriously. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll all be bumped off by the end of the week.
Yeah, we certainly will.
Okay. Cool. So anyway, yes, hello everyone, and welcome, and yeah, we'll be seeing how everyone's week's been, and you know how Darren's getting on with his Chocky Wocky Doodah challenge, and
170 quid so far.
cool.
Yeah. It's all good, man. It's all good.
That's a one big Toblerone when you finish it.
I was going to say you're gonna have a fuck-sized wagon wheel, aren't you?
I'm going to be recreating the flashback scene from I Am Alan Partridge. I think it's about episode 4. Where he's in a car just covered in Toblerone. Go, learn.
Rubbing yourself. You're gonna just rub yourself down with sort of like boxes of dairy milk.
That's right. Gonna bathe in fat. That's what I'm
Nice.
gonna do. Just chocolate.
Yeah.
Get it in my face.
Cool. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes, and then then we'll be reviewing our film What We Did Done review back in the day. Back in the Chaz and Day. Yeah, which is The Princess Bride, which has been getting some interesting responses on a Facebook group.
I think so.
So we'll be going through that. But anyway, before we do that, let's see how everyone's week's been. So we'll start with you, Jim. How's your week, sir?
I'm not sure.
Elton.
A bit good, a bit bad.
Okey-dokey.
I was due to have a tooth out tomorrow, but thanks to getting a sinus infection earlier in the week, I got out of that one and postponed it. But the bad news was I had a sinus infection.
I was going to say,
It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't particularly painful. It's one of those things where you have like an ache in your face, or it's a headache or an earache. It is just kind of irritating. It is kind of like, make it stop.
yeah.
And the best painkillers don't quite touch it.
No. You need to go face down in a bowl of Solpadeine, basically.
Yes.
Just
It's not good if you've got work to do.
well, no, admittedly. But
With the horse.
So sinus problems giving you jip then.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I hate getting ill. I really hate the kind of like sinusy stuffy head illnesses where you just feel like crap, but not actually bad enough to do anything. And because you're blocked up, you can't sleep and just have a nice lie down anyway, which is the only upside to getting ill anyway. You can go to bed for the day.
Nice.
But yeah, so seem to be out the other end of that, thankfully. So that's good.
Only to get your teeth removed.
Yeah, I know. Not one thing is another.
I was going to say frying pan and fire. You're falling apart, Jim. It must be said.
Well, it has been a stressful time. As I said, the dog business has sort of come to somewhat of a head. In particular, I was just minding my own business, having a walk the shops, and this old gentleman accosted me. And I honestly thought he was going to ask for directions. And he claims to be the house owner, which is funny because I've never seen that cunt in there before. Seriously, in 6 years, didn't recognise him. No one else on my street, not him. And he's going, I was beat the council and we're going to take this to the top. And I go, yeah, really? Knock yourself out. And he didn't seem to grasp the fact that, I've been sending the councils with an app they gave me, time-stamped and GPS-stamped recordings of his dog barking for hours on end.
Yep.
And he seemed like it wasn't good. And he goes, I think you're exaggerating. My solicitor will have you in court. I tried to be reasonable, and he just wasn't having it. I just said, yeah, I will see you in court. You can believe what you like, but the recordings don't lie, and just walked off.
There you go.
As it happens, I believe that if you are lodging legal action against... The thing was, it's not me who's taking him to court, it's the council.
Nice.
There's to be other complaints as well. But, even so, I think that counts as intimidating a witness.
Yeah, it does.
I think a magistrate might frown on that, which, unluckily for him, my cousin actually just works in the village. And as soon as I got in, he sent me a photo. He goes, was this you? You're talking to this bloke in the street? I said, yes, it was. Thank you. That's brilliant evidence.
Nice.
And I rang the council, and the lady from the county, her manager, was more than happy to prosecute him.
Nice.
So they've been giving all kinds of bollocks. It's not his dog, or it is his dog, but it isn't that bad, or the dog wasn't there at the time when you can hear it barking its head off on tape. And so we waited, and then suddenly the noise from the dog mysteriously stopped. And so far hasn't stopped, and there's been not one sniff of any legal paperwork coming my direction. So I think I've gone to his solicitor, who said, A, imitated a witness, and B, you don't have a fucking leg to stand on, you silly old cunt.
Nice. Well,
I think I've won that one.
Yeah, well done there. There you go. Oh well. I was going to say we were all prepping up to send him flaming bags of shit, but hey ho, we'll have to call that off. Everyone, call it off. Back away.
Put your torches out.
Promise me one thing: if you do go to court, that you'll stand up at least at one point during the actual prosecutions thing and just go, "Objection, Your Honour."
Yes, objection. Overruled. Sustained.
Objection. Yes, I don't like the cut of that man's suit. He's giving me side eye. That's what he's doing.
He's giving me stink eye.
Shall now break for lunch. Objection.
He's using the Chewbacca defence.
Chewbacca is a Wookiee, and he comes from Kashyyyk. Chewbacca is not an Ewok. They come from Endor. He's using the Chewbacca defense. Anyway, cool. So dog is silenced, but that doesn't help because your sinuses are screaming.
Well, not so bad now. So I've come at the end of that, but it was a bit of a worrying time. As it's kind of like, oh god, do we have to go to this fucking clown court thing? Kind of. But it was. I was actually really, really annoyed. I mean, at first I was flabbergasted. He accosted me, but I was just really annoyed at the gall of the man. He's trying to claim that, my solicitor will tear you apart. And he's like, really? Fuck off.
Cenobite, is he?
What part of time-stamped GPS stamp recording don't you understand, you old fuckwit?
Well, it's New Century stuff.
It's the goal of these people, you know what I mean?
Well, considering that the only recording devices that he knows are those ones that involve cylinders, then there you go. This is why he doesn't understand this technology that's powered by this thing called electricery.
Yeah, exactly. Which is probably why he can't keep the dog in the house, because obviously, he hasn't got the heating working.
He's probably had to let go of the scullery maid, so that the dog will have somewhere to sleep from now on.
Cool. Anything else, sir?
I think it's probably about it, really.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, then. Well, then on to you, Mr. Elton. How's your day, a week?
Well, this is the dullest period of my life at the moment. There's nothing going on. It's just work, come home, maybe grab an hour of TV, and
jobs are good.
Yeah, I know that you mentioned about Grand Tour a little while ago. I've caught up with that now.
Did you like the Jag episode?
Sorry?
The Jag episode. The Jag.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah. Have you seen any others in that
I
series?
saw the final one where they were trying to get all the fish from the ocean to the to the village.
The village of Bingo in Mozambique.
And one was it Hammond's on his bike, so he got starts off with 15 fish on a rack and then ends up with one very battered looking octopus. Yeah,
I have to admit, this season, since they moved over to Grand Tour, the first season was very good, but it was different. It's still trying to find its feet. I think they've found their feet now.
Yeah,
although they are. This is coming from a podcast with 4 grumpy old farts on it. They are turning into 3 grumpy old farts, and it's not even shining through. It's just really just coming through, and it's not getting boring, but it's getting a bit samey.
Are you talking about us or Grand Tour?
Oh yeah, I didn't stipulate what I was talking about, did I?
No, not really.
No, Grand Tour.
So, what do you think of Grand Tour?
It's I did enjoy it. I thought it was very, very good. And they have started to move in a direction to make it their own, apart from Be Top Gear 2. And it is working out really well. I'm looking forward to other series, but I think they're getting a bit long in the tooth on it.
Yeah, well,
they're starting to have ailments as well, aren't they? I.e. nearly dying.
yeah, or filling the car full of water was just genius. I thought though, just trying to have a fish tank in there just to do fresh fish, and then every time he brake too hard, half the tank would just fly over the back of his head. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I watched the first couple of episodes in the first season and then just sort of dropped out and then come back to it in the second. I'm like, maybe I'm just not so worn down by it. I'm kind of dipping in and out as opposed to watching it solidly. So maybe it's that as well.
I would recommend, if anyone's not seen either season 1 or 2, go for season 2 first.
Definitely. Because they have a better idea of what they're actually after and what they're doing. Be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They've got their own beast. They've got their own money now, and so it's not that they've got executives breathing over their shoulders saying you must do it the Top Gear way. It's their little sandbox now, isn't it?
Yeah, it works well for them. I enjoyed it. Cool. Anything else, sir?
No, it's been really dull. I was going to turn around and say, would you like 2 minutes of let's all try and work out how many monkey films there are, but I don't know if that would work or not. So
no, save that for your own cast, mate. Which apparently you got absolutely zero subject matter tomorrow.
Oh God, yes.
So so enjoy that. I was gonna say though, I was gonna apologise to everyone because after Mushy P Gate and Northern Scally Gate and basically insulting just about people on mopeds and bicycles and everything else. It was brought to my attention last week. Yeah, it was also brought to my attention that we had an episode whereby the first 10 minutes of our review was basically whether or not we fancied the robot partner of the space hunter.
Yep.
And then we promptly released it on International Women's Day.
Oh, we didn't.
So we just sort of doubled down on just about insulting just about everyone. So There you go.
Oh, that was well timed. Well done, guys.
Very well
done.
timed.
I was going to say, between this insulting people from the north, mushy peas, gravy on KFC, anyone who drives on the pavement wearing hoverboards and skates and whatever else.
Yep.
I think we just about then just sort of topped it off with International Women's Day and being incredibly sexist. So that's spectacular work. We, well done everybody. I think we
Golf clap.
golf clap to one and all. I think we've done a spectacular job of being absolute dicks. So there you go. Yeah, so there was that. Anyway, anything else, sir, before I move on to Mr. B?
No, it moves on to the Mr. B.
Mr. B,
Hello.
how was your week?
My week's been really good.
Good.
Really, really good. Had a good weekend this weekend.
Good.
It was, of course, Mothering Sunday this week.
Mm-hmm.
Had over the weekend
Had some mothers.
Had some mothers. Oh, of course, my
Because the diamond territory here.
it certainly is, yes. But going slightly down the age range, my girlfriend Reese, of course, has got a daughter, so it was Mother's Day for her. Mm-hmm. And we did various things over the weekend. Went out and had dinner and stuff like this. Even went to a Mothering Sunday service at the local church which a little girl was involved in.
Nice.
Which was like, I'm glad to say my skin didn't start burning. I was really surprised not to see any smoke.
What, when you went in the church?
When I went in through the actual church door. So,
that was my job, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was, I thought it was transferred over to me. But apparently, no. Apparently, I'm not actually part demon. So, that was good, enjoyed a bit of holy karaoke in there as well. So,
Holy karaoke.
Holy karaoke. Had to,
Jesus wants before a sunbeam.
something like that, yeah. Yeah, so that was good. But we ended up on the Sunday, just we'd been out, had food, stuff like this, really enjoyed it. And then we took Maria to the park. Now, I can't remember...
Maria being the daughter.
The daughter, of course, yeah. So took her down there, and I can't remember the last time I was on a swing.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Oh, dear's right. Yeah. Because it was like, and this was what Ree was saying. She said, I could see the change come over your face as you got higher and higher on the swing. It was like childish joy. Oh, I remember this. This is really great.
Yeah.
And it was all of a sudden, it was as if like, how they say bumblebees aren't supposed to be able to fly? Well, imagine if suddenly it dawned on a bumblebee that I'm not supposed to be able to fly.
Yeah.
Right? It suddenly dawned on me that I'm a 48-year-old bloke on a swing and I'm getting higher and higher.
And a momentum has taken over.
Exactly. And I think my exact words were, how do you stop this?
Swat. And how did you stop that?
I was really graceful with it. Yeah.
You fell off.
No, I just put my foot on the ground and jarred my entire body.
Shattered every bone in your
That's right.
in your leg, just coming to a sudden stop.
It's just like one of those cartoons where you see the cracks appear up the shin.
Just turn into glass, just fall apart.
Exactly. So yes. So there was that. But apart from the good stuff over the weekend, of course, we have to have the bad. And the bad taking place this weekend was in the form of a film called Open Water 3.
Open Water 3?
Yeah, there is a third one, right?
I didn't know there was a second.
There was, yes. That was Adrift, it's called. But Open Water 3, Cage Dive. Or should we say, Open Water 3, stupid people doing stupid fucking things and deserving to get eaten by sharks. And I'm just surprised the film lasted that long because they were that fucking stupid. Especially one of the characters.
Right. Because I'm sorry, I'm still struggling because Open Water 1 was the first one.
Yeah.
The one that I know existed was about the people who got off the boat and then forgot to leave the ladder down so they couldn't get back on the boat.
Well, what it is, they went down diving. When they came back up, the boat had fucked off. Basically, there was they miscounted the people on the boat and then they left them behind.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was something else. But
no, it's like 90 minutes of these two people floating, trying to avoid sharks.
And
this is pretty much the same thing, but with even more stupidity going
Is
on.
it just more people in the water?
Yeah, there were 3 people in the water. No, 4 people in the water this time. But look, let me give you an example of the stupid, and you can see this is being telegraphed right a mile away. It's like the fires of Rohan. You know, you can see them all up the fucking hills and stuff like this.
Yeah.
They're on. They finally managed to get. These 3, and I'm going to spoil it. I don't give a fuck because the film's fucking awful.
Well, you got to see the other 2 first to get the real story.
Oh yeah, of course you have. No, they're all different people, and I'm guessing they all end up the same way because the first one ended badly, and this one certainly does. Right? So they're in the water, and of course, what you don't do, right? If you don't want to attract a shark, is splash the water and shout. Okay, so this guy sees this container floating towards him and tries to swim out to get to it to get the supplies. His girlfriend is screaming at him and splashing the water, saying, "Don't go over there! There are big sharks!" And it's like, well, there are fucking well now because they pretty much show up soon after she does it.
Right.
And she keeps doing stuff like this. And it's like, please, will something just fucking eat her? You know, drag her to the depths and get her, because these 2 boys, they might actually survive if she's dead.
Right.
And her ultimate, well, in fact, it's all fucking 3 of them. All fucking 3 stupid idiots. They're on this life raft. They found this inflatable life raft, came across in a case off of the boat that went down, right? Because it gets hit by a tidal wave. So it goes down, and there's various bits of wreckage floating around. They finally get the inflatable life raft comes towards them. It's one of these self-inflating ones. It's in this big case. So they find it out, this is brilliant. They open it up, set it off to do its thing, right? Now, by the way, this is all done on hand cam.
Oh, lovely.
So somebody's always got to be filming this shit, no matter what is going on.
So hold on, they've got what, like a waterproof GoPro that they sort of
something
hang
like that,
to
yeah.
each other?
They had, because the whole story is these people were going off to film a B-roll for an audition video for an extreme sports show that they were all trying to get onto.
Called Shark Fight.
Called Fucking Stupid Idiots Do Fucking Stupid Things Volume 3, right? So anyway, they get onto this fucking raft, right?
Yeah.
And it's like they're all celebrating to begin with, but then a few hours goes by, and of course, like small children, they get bored, right? I can't remember. Oh, they find someone else in the water, drag them on board. So they just drag them on board death, the floating death heap that they're about to turn it into, right? Okay. They hear this plane up above, right? Or it's really distant. They see it. And the girl's like, come on, I'm going to use a flare to signal someone. And they're like, no, don't bother, because the plane's not going to see it, right? It's too far away. And she's arguing with them about this. And so she's got this thing in her hand. And so, of course, you can see what's going to happen next.
It goes off in her hand.
What happens is, bloke reaches across to try and take it off her.
And
right?
breaks it and throws it in the
she's
water.
not letting go. So you've got another bloke reaches across and grabs the bottom of it. So you've got 2 opposing forces pulling in either direction.
They snap it.
Yeah, they fucking launch this thing within the actual life raft. It's one that's got this tarpaulin cover over it. So they launch this thing within the confines of this fucking dinghy. They've just pulled this poor sod on board.
And then set him on fire with a flare.
That's right. You actually see it. They fuck off. All 3 of them dive in the water, right? And you see silhouetted form of this person burning to death while she's screaming her head off.
Right. No, this film is too stupid to live.
Yeah.
Did you see this all the way through to the end?
I saw it all the way through to the end. I'm like, I know this is going to end. It's not going to end
And
pretty.
you sat and watched it to the end.
I sat and watched it to the end because I thought it was my duty as a black dog presenter to take this shit.
Why?
Both barrels in the face. So I could warn others. I watch it so nobody else has to. And hopefully it will disappear off Netflix and, pretty much like the cast. So
pretty much like this cast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's, so stupid people, if you like watching films about stupid people doing stupid things, then, of course you've got Prometheus and you've got this.
Nice.
Okay? So it's that level of stupid.
Nice.
You know, the geologist who can't find his fucking way out of a tunnel, even if he was given a fucking halogen lamp and a GPS system.
Considering he is the guy who's making the holographic map with drones.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't start me on that again. I'm not in the mood for a Prometheus moment. I really ain't.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay. So thumbs up then.
Oh yeah, fucking right. But one more thing I'll tell you about I did this week. Got back into reading graphic novels, full swing. 2 I've got to recommend. Next Wave, which is all about people who've literally they're superheroes, but they're not frontline superheroes, and they've joined this group. It's called Next Wave Agents of Hate,
right?
And it's proper Marvel characters, proper from the Marvel universe, but it's like Machine Man is one of these characters.
Right.
He's joined this group and he just doesn't like humans at all. He keeps calling them fleshy ones. The leader of the group's like, you fucking who used to be Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
she was Monica Rambeau, I think her name is, or Rimbo. She used to be part of the Avengers, stuff like this. And she's always threatening to fucking kick his teeth in if he keeps referring to them as fleshy ones. Oh, I think we've got a commentary from Alexa.
Alexa? Oh, God.
It
Echo.
could be because I mentioned a product that's from Amazon.
Did you just mention something and Alexa just kicked off?
I think so.
Or have we got one of those spooky echoes? Have you been hearing about those?
No.
The ones that laugh manically.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah, apparently. And then if you're really unlucky, you get one that sort of like ignores everything you say and laughs more and more and more as you ask it to do things, and until eventually it just like 11 o'clock at night just kind of goes and then just switches off.
Right.
So I didn't hear what that said, but if it's doing it now,
what have you bought, Darren?
What have you just bought? Something. What has my daughter just bought with my Amazon account?
It's probably you have ordered 300 front row tickets to Boyzone.
If it lights up and I've bought 300 tickets to Boyzone, I will punch you in the face.
It's not anything that I've not mentioned Boyzone
twice.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking about my weekend now, because I feel as though I could be costing you an arm and a leg. You're going to get a speedboat turn up here tomorrow. Amazon Prime. There you go. And they will deliver that shit.
So hold on. He said because that one over there refers to itself as Echo.
Does it?
Yeah. So she hasn't responded there. But anyway,
could be that because I said Monica. Could it?
Don't know.
Rimbo. Monica Rimbo.
Rimbo. Maybe that was it. No, she's not responding.
Okay. Yeah. Next Wave. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. Cool.
It's very funny. You'll love it.
Love it. Okay. Cool. I haven't got much on my week, to be honest. Yeah, Mother's Day, that was fine. Made a roast dinner. That went down well.
Well, the house is still standing.
House is still standing.
And they set you really quick with a paintbrush. And...
Yeah, well, you know, I'm getting faster now with that sort of stuff.
Excellent.
Went to Jen Williams' book launch.
Yes.
For the Bitter Twins, and I actually have something to present to you.
You certainly do.
Yeah, I do. Hold on a sec.
There it is.
There it is. That's for you, if you want to have a look at that.
Oh, I certainly do. Let's have a look and see what Jen has written.
No, that has Jen written. Let's have a look at what Jen's written.
Let's have a look and see what Jen...
What'd she say? Go on, read it.
Okay, for Blighty, quick, go to page 79.
Okay, so go to page 79. What does that say?
That was 69.
That was 69.
Hold on.
Yeah. Do you want to just read out what it says?
Yes, she's put, get it signed yourself, you lazy twat. Love, Jen. And she's drawn willies.
I can neither confirm nor deny that there was multiple hands in that decision making of your quote.
And she's drawn other stuff as well.
Yeah. There's lady parts in there drawn all over it, and I think there may also be a willy that looks like Theresa May crossed with a elephant. There's also if you go to chapter 1, chapter 1. What is on? What is at the beginning?
That is epic.
Go on. Would you like to read out what's on chapter 1?
Yeah. So Jen has actually written, and so it begins along the edge of a big knob.
Yeah,
and balls.
A quite veiny knob.
A quite veiny knob with hairy balls.
Mm. There is other stuff in there, and it's been put in there purely to see whether or not you read it.
Oh, that's cheeky.
Including I think we may have taken out the last 3 pages of the book.
Oh, don't you dare. I'm going to the back now to have a look.
I know you go to the back, see? I knew you would. See, you just skip to the end.
Hello.
What?
I've seen something else.
Do you see something else?
See something else.
What's that?
It's getting exciting, isn't it? And again, he's drawn a big dobber.
I think actually that's Christian Chessel.
Because he's put Marty at the end.
Oh, that's Marty.
That's Marty.
Sorry, Marty wrote that one.
Yes.
Christian put another one in there.
Did he?
And there's one from me as well. So, you know, it's a special book, especially for you.
I'll be saving this for the grandkids.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't sell it on eBay if I were you as a signed copy, that's for sure. So there you go.
There's absolutely no way. This is a specialised copy.
Yeah.
For me. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah. So Jen Williams has released the book The Bitter Twins.
And aren't they bitter? Good Lord.
Yeah, the second part of the Winnowing Flame trilogy. I have not yet read it because I only got it the other day. So that was quite nice. We went to drinks afterwards at the Phoenix Bar. That was quite nice. Mm-hmm. Got to say goodbye again to Dave Probert, who is off to Leeds. So he is now departing these southern shores for the north.
Yes, he is.
So he's gone off up there.
He's gone north of the wall.
Gone north of the wall with Gillian. What else? Apart from a massive bout of RSI in my right hand, I think that's about it, really. that's. Oh,
moving swiftly on from that.
Yeah, and we started watching Jessica Jones season 2.
Ah, right, okay. What did you think so far?
Well, we've only done 2 episodes so far because I'm not one for binging that.
Right.
And I'm quite enjoying it. I don't know what everyone's saying about it being meh. It seems to be kind of building nicely. It seems to be more about fallout and emotional fallout, and it just seemed, I don't know. And what made me really laugh, which will be of interest to long-time Black Dog podcast listeners, is it features as a cameo another superhero, the Whizzer.
Yes.
Who was one of our shitty superheroes right at the very beginning of the whole thing, with the guy who is all in yellow, is only fast when he's scared, and basically has a pet mongoose.
Indeed.
All of those things feature in Jessica Jones season 2. Except they've gone for the extra level of, instead of making him look athletic with a silly little cap on his head like little wings and chicken wings, he's now a sort of like grossly overweight, beardy, nerdy guy. So I now have a cosplay costume I can easily do, which is basically just putting on a yellow top, basically, and then running very, very poorly in the most god-awful CGI I'm moving really fast effect I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, God, yeah.
No, you know when they sort of film them running at normal speeds and then just put a blur over it?
I'm up to episode 4.
Oh, right. So you know about the Wizard then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was quite cool.
I didn't remember him being one of ours.
Yeah, he doesn't look like that in the old comics, but but the Wizard, yeah. And I was like, that was quite cool. So anyway, so I've only done 2 episodes. I think it's going all right. I'll be able to say more when I've seen more, to be honest.
I think when the big bad finally makes its presence felt, which would be interesting to see who it is the villain is for this one.
Well, it looked like the Toxic Avenger by the looks of the flashback in the first 2 episodes, but, I can't...
Now there's a team-up I'd like to see.
I was going to say, Jessica Jones and the Toxic Avenger. It looked like a half-chewed piece of bubble gum in a nursing frock. I mean, it was just bizarre.
We'll find out, won't we, what it is?
But we'll see. Yeah, so that's it. Unfortunately, nothing too fancy to report, I'm afraid. I was going to go to the cinema this week, but just, no, I'm not. I'm really not in the mood for much, to be honest.
Right.
So,
I am going to the cinema later this week, actually, in 2 days' time. So I'll be able to give a review of Tomb Raider.
Ah.
So I'm going to see that.
Okay.
So,
cool.
I'm hoping it's going to be a lot better than the previous two versions.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you know, at least one video game movie has to land properly, but, you know.
I think so.
And then we've got to just worry about that, because when it does land properly, we've got to worry it's a good one, and because we'll only get more shit.
Yep.
Look forward to the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, everybody. Right. Okay, well, that's that. Let's move on to this film. This film what we done watch before. The Princess Bride. Roll some old classic jingle.
Oh, crackling rosy tinted specs. We're gonna take us an old film and then review. That's what we'll do. We do it for you. I can turn invisible if I try real hard.
Right, okay, so The Princess Bride. Yes, The Princess Bride. Oh, sorry, you all right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay,
I'm fine. There we go.
No worries. Yes, The Princess Bride. Let's have a look here. Is a 1987 American romantic comedy fantasy adventure film, directed, co-produced by Rob Reiner and starring Carrie Ooles, Robin Wright, Mandy Patinkin, Chris Sarandon, Wallace Shawn, Andre the Giant, and Christopher Guest. Adapted from William Goldman's book in 1973 of the same name, it tells the story of a farmhand named Wesley, accompanied by befriended companions along the way, who must rescue his true love, Princess Buttercup, from the odious Prince Humperdinck. The film effectively preserves the novel's narrative style by presenting the story as a book being read by a grandfather, Peter Falk, to his sick grandson, Fred Savage. The film was first released in 1987 in September 25th, as well as being well received by critics at the time. It was a modest box office success. How much do you reckon? It had a budget of 16 million. How much do you think it made, Dal?
40 million.
Elton?
32 million.
Jim?
26.
Oh, well, Elton's almost right on the money. It's 30 million it made. 30.9, so super close. The film has become a cult classic, being number 50 on Bravo's 100 Funniest Movies, number 88 on American Film Institute's 100 Years, 100 Passions list of greatest love stories, number 46 in Channel 4's 50 Greatest Comedy Films, and in 2016 the film was inducted into the National Film Registry, being deemed as culturally, historically, and or aesthetically significant. The Rob Reiner, who had been enamoured with Goldman's book ever since he was given it as a childhood gift, realised he wanted to make the film adaptation after successfully demonstrating his filmmaking skill with the release of This Is Spinal Tap in 1984. During the production of Stand By Me, released in 1986, Reiner had spoken to an executive of Paramount Pictures regarding what his next film would be and suggested the adaptation of The Princess Bride. He was told that they couldn't do it, leading Reiner to discover that several studios had previously attempted to bring the book to the screen without success. Among those previous attempts was 20th Century Fox, which paid Goldman $500,000 for the film rights to do a screenplay in 1973, and Richard Lester was signed on to direct that at the time, and it was almost made, but the head of production at Fox was fired and the project was put on hiatus. Goldman subsequently bought back the film rights with his own money, while other directors attempted to adapt the book, including Francois Truffaut, Robert Redford, and Norman Jewison. And at one point, Christopher Reeve was interested in playing Wesley in one of the planned adaptations. However, Rob Reiner found his success by gaining financial support from Norman Lear, who Reiner knew from All in the Family, and who funded the production of This Is Spinal Tap, with the production distributed by 20th Century Fox, and Reiner worked closely with Goldman to adapt the book for screenplay. The Princess Bride received critical acclaim and on Rotten Tomatoes still holds a 97% certified fresh rating based on 64 reviews. The site's consensus states, a delightfully postmodern fairy tale. Princess Bride is a deft, intelligent mix of swashbuckling, romance and comedy that takes the age-old damsel in distress story and makes it fresh. On Metacritic, it has 77 out of 100 based on 20 critics, which indicates generally favourable reviews. Roger Ebert wrote a favourable print review, and Richard Corliss of Time magazine said that the film was fun for the whole family, and later Time listed it as one of its best of 1987. Jane Maslin of the New York Times praised the cast and the sweetness of the film. Although it wasn't a major box office success, it became a cult classic on the home video market, and the film is widely regarded as eminently quotable. Kari Uls noted in 2017 that on the film's 30th anniversary that fans will frequently come up to him and quote back lines to the film to him. While he knows that Wallace Shawn had it worse, in that every time Wallace made a small error like dropping his keys, people would pop out of nowhere and shout "Inconceivable" at him. In 2000, readers of Total Film voted Princess Bride the 38th greatest comedy film of all time, and in 2006, William Goldman's screenplay was selected by the Writers Guild of America as the 84th best screenplay of all time. It earned the same ranking as the Guild's in the 2013 update, and the film was selected number 88 in American Film Institute's blah blah blah. We've done that bit. Mark Kermode is also a fan of the film and frequently considers it to the model to which all other film comedies aspire. There you go. So, I think we've all seen it except for Elton, haven't we?
Yeah, that's correct.
Righty-ho. Well, I think then the honour or infamy befalls you, sir, as to what did you think of The Princess Bride?
Infamy.
They've all got it infamy.
Yeah. Okay. I wish I'd seen this as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. This has totally passed me by, and I think I only heard about this when it's only since the internet that I've actually learned about this film or heard about this film. I hadn't seen a single screenshot of this at all. Not
really.
Screenshot. Well, I've seen the memes, but I didn't realize it was from this film until I'd actually watched the film to realize that was from this film. If you get my drift.
Yeah,
it's a light and simple, really well told story. I think with enough quirks to keep you going and keep you really interested all the way through. And I suppose the best bit about it, for me, it kept me wanting a little bit more at the end.
Oh,
yeah, it was just enough to make me. Oh no! Let me get a horse as well. I want to ride off as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really sweet, and. I really wish I'd seen this as a kid. The characters in it feel they're as old as time, and when I say that, they are instantly recognisable with traits from like old-fashioned fairy tales, etc.
Yeah,
and I like that it is a fairy tale. There are no dragons, because you would normally get a dragon in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And just that faintest whiff of magic. And it's not real magic either, really, is it? It's more like the George's Marvellous Medicines type magic.
Well, I don't know. Miracle Max and his bringing them back to life because he's mostly dead.
Yeah.
Well, he was only mostly dead, and it wasn't... It was only like a little thing that he ate, wasn't it?
No, it was the size of a bloody golf ball.
It looked like someone had chocolate coated a testicle, to be honest.
Yeah. But it wasn't like hocus pocus potions in the corner, bubble, bubble, bubble. It wasn't like that. It was just it's the MacGuffin of the film, isn't it? You got a guy that is only partially dead, and you need somehow to revive him because you need him for the rest of the story, and so we give him this little trinket, and it works. So, but it was done in a real graceful way, and it also has. When I said about George's Marvelous Medicine, I'd imagine this as like a illustrated book, and you would have Quentin Blake drawings on this. I think they'd suit it down to the ground.
Yeah.
That would really, really suit it. The second act kind of sagged a little for me. Mm-hmm. But I think that's because of the absence of Han and Chewie. Sorry, Indigo and Fezzik.
Yeah, Fezzik.
Yeah,
Fezzik.
Fezzik.
Yeah.
But I love them characters. I think they're brilliant. They're already up there for me. I'm so gutted that I didn't see this as a kid. Yeah, but I think where it sags, it really gets going once these guys come back to it.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to something Jim said last week about a scoundrel not being the main character. He needs to be like a second tier character.
Yeah.
Can't really carry the story, and that if they don't dominate the story, then it works in their favor. You know, oh look, he or she's a cheeky little rascal. I want to be like him or her, and I think that's what makes the cheeky rascal endearing. Whereas if you had him all the way through it, it would be a little bit too much, I feel.
Yeah.
And I don't think the story would hold as well.
Yeah.
But Andre the Giant, man, he's huge.
He is.
Absolutely huge. I missed all the wrestling stuff as well. So I know of Andre the Giant, but flipping hell, the size of his hands.
Just a little
go on.
like a piece of information about Andre the Giant.
Go on.
I watched sort of like a few history of wrestling things, and they've talked about Andre the Giant before. And apparently what he used to do was, if he was staying out and he was staying in a hotel, he would take a big shit in the bed of the hotel and leave it for the fucking maid to come and clean up.
Right.
Yeah, that was one of his favourite things to do, apparently.
Right. Well,
don't know how true that is, whether it was made up.
So hold on. So you basically just slandered him live on air without
Can't
knowing.
slander the dead. It's all right.
Can't you? Oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, I was going to say. I'm pretty sure that Andre the Giant was about the only person we didn't insult last week. So I thought we're just
let's
kind
get
of
it out of the way now.
Doubling down on it. Okay. Cool. Okay. Why?
I don't know. I sat there going, why?
Okay.
It was late 80s, early 90s. I suppose it was fun for him.
It's a different time.
Yeah,
Different time.
It was. Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
Sorry. Get back to this. I think when we get back to the actual guys, though, the story really takes off, and obviously it ends in its conclusion. But I think it works really well. It runs at a good pace as well, and then the comedy, it kind of steps up a little step, especially when the half dead guy is just flapping around trying to put your hands in the middle. That's brilliant. I love that. I thought that was brilliant. Watching this though. I did struggle with a couple of the voices. It's one of them things where you recognise the voice, you try and place it, and it took me ages. And the first one was Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
I could recognise the voice, I could see the mouth actions, but couldn't quite place who it was. So I had to jump onto IMDb for that one.
Miracle Max.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The second one was Wallace Shawn. And I kept hearing his voice, and I was like, where the hell is that from? And I thought it was like an animation. And it took me until his death. I didn't want to jump on too soon. And then once he'd carked it, I thought, right, okay, I can jump on here. I jumped onto IMDb and found out that where I'd recognise his voice from is Bob's boss in The Incredibles.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know. I know everyone's going, yeah, so.
Yeah, he was that, and he was also one of the. I think he was the Grand Nagus Ferengi in Deep Space Nine.
He certainly was, yes.
Yeah, I mean, his voice is very recognisable.
I think it's him and Gilbert Gottfried, sort of like, two of the most recognisable voices in Hollywood.
Yeah, Inconceivable. Yeah.
I didn't know that. See, I don't do the Star Trek, do I? So,
well, no, but you might have seen it. That was all. It's just,
no.
Incidentally, if you want to have a good laugh, have a listen to Gilbert Gottfried reading 50 Shades of Grey. Classic. I think there's an SNL commercial where they do Gilbert Gottfried reads 50 Shades of Grey, and they do clips from it.
Yeah.
I feel like a natural woman.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
In conclusion, for myself, though, I really liked it. I wish I'd seen it as a kid. It sags in the middle a little bit, but I think you're rewarded at the end. So, yeah, it's thumbs up from me.
Cool. Okay, then. Well, there you go. So, what about you then, Jim? Jim?
Yes, well, I've seen this many times. This is the first time I've seen it on Blu-ray, though.
It's, pinch-up crikey vision.
DVD copy and actually not crack the cellophane when I came to look at it. Naughty. You see the offers in shops. Oh, I need that. And actually, I think it did actually benefit from it's certainly an improvement on my old DVD copy. The colours were brighter and it just looked a bit more cinematic. Because, however, having said that, watching it and trying to take the rose tinted specs off, I think actually I fed back when you guys did it originally.
Yeah.
And one thing I think I remarked, and I still hold true now with, is the fact that it's almost a shame that Rob Wyatt didn't direct this a couple of films later in his career. Because there are things where it's kind of he's just coming out of directing comedy films, and some bits do look really cinematic, and you have kind of the really sort of the color and depth of the world, and others do tend to look a bit like TV comedy. I mean, it's not a big thing. I am just nitpicking because that's what we're supposed to do.
Yes,
I'll be honest. It's one of those things. I think it's still a great story. I mean, I do have niggles. I've always had niggles with it. One is Andre the Giant. They should have dubbed him, really. He's the best, but he is kind of like, some lines are good and some lines are ba 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 ba. I know where Stallone went for acting lessons now. There we go. That's that mystery solved. Next.
Yeah.
It's a shame, kind of. They could have redubbed him. We'd never have known. Just give him a pie, been happy,
Give him bed to shit in by the sound of it.
Well, apparently, yes. If I was being sort of playing fantasy casting, I'd probably also maybe recast Wallace Shawn, or told him just dial it down just a notch. Not on Saturday Night Live, just down a bit, because there are moments where the tone slips, and for me, Wallace Shawn, he's so obviously American, being Sicilian, and it is kind of in the mad mix of accents. It's always a bugbear I find with historical and fantasy stuff, of where you get everyone talking in like a global set of accents. It does kind of it does break the feel of the world, and one of the things like Game of Thrones works, and to go in a completely different fantasy direction, why Thor Ragnarok works. And generally the Marvel Thor films is they gave voice coaches to all the actors, so all the Asgardians at least sound the same.
That's true.
I mean, it's a minor nitpick. I still have a problem with Billy Crystal in this. I mean, I think the start of the Miracle Maxine is fine, but it's one of those, he was allowed to go on too much, and his wife, and it ends up just shouty and shrieky, and it's kind of, it's just tipped over that balance from the kind of width the film has, and it goes too broad. And for me, the shtick he's doing, I don't know, it just grates on me a bit, because I feel it starts out kind of wouldn't it be funny if this old magic man is like an old Jewish guy?
Mm.
And towards the end, it's getting a bit too close to, look, laugh at the funny old Jewish guy.
Yeah.
If you see that distinction, if you know what I mean, it just kind of goes too broad. And while the character starts out charming, towards the end, he's just a noisy caricature.
Yeah.
And then that always just kind of, it's always just a little down moment of, and every time I watch it, when the scene starts, I'm going, oh, this is quite good, it's quite funny. Or, mostly dead, there's a big difference. Mm-hmm. But then it's kind of, I just feel kind of, he needed reining in.
Yeah. Yeah, he's dead. I've seen worse. Yeah.
But, these are sort of, I think, minor nitpicks. I mean, I know kind of just to go to some of the Facebook group feedback, which we'll probably do in more detail later, but I know some people do find this film underwhelming. And I kind of understand that because it's a film that does get raved around a lot, and I'm kind of glad I discovered it, I think like a lot of people did on video in this country. I think it got a very wide or a very sort of high-profile cinema release, and it was one of these films people found and recommended, and it built up, good like word-of-mouth Shawshank sort of style.
Yeah.
And its reputation grew over a number of years. And I was quite glad that I sort of saw it when it was just, oh, this is a nice, quirky little film. Because now it's kind of, I can see why people might be going, yeah, it's good, but it's not all that. There are,
yeah,
I can see why people can come away going, I enjoyed it, but
yeah, well, exactly. I mean,
I was expecting to do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was fully expecting you to do that. I'll be honest with you, simply because it has a level of hype which I think is well beyond what the film deserves. And I'll say it right off the bat. I don't think it's sort of giving a spoiler, but I do like it. But it's just like it's one of those sort of cult white label things of, if you've never seen it, Inconceivable, and you make a big song and dance of why you haven't seen it, and it's like everyone gets this kind of song and dance. And I have to say, were I on the opposite side of that, I'd be like, right, okay, sit down, this film is going to entertain my fucking socks off, if for all the shit I've just copped for just saying I didn't actually watch, I've never seen it before. And I can honestly say that would be my you've immediately primed the audience who haven't seen it to go, you know what, fuck you. If you're going to give me this much shit, this film you're putting in front of me has got to be just an absolute pinnacle of perfection. Because what you've done is you basically belittled me for basically missing it, and then acknowledging that it's a cult film. So, which by definition means that only a limited amount of people have seen it. So, it's just so yeah. I'm not surprised that it gets the reaction it does. And when people say that they don't like it or are underwhelmed by it, I never kind of think, burn the heretic. But anyway, sorry, Jim, carry on, mate. Sorry.
No, I agree with that entirely, because it is. But I think it's one of those films that, it's like a low gear film. It's a gentle film, and I think it has a reputation that sort of builds it up to be a real rib tickler and a marvelous fantasy adventure. Well, really, it's just a nice little film. A good little story, and it's quite entertaining, and it's a little bit subversive, but it isn't, a proper thigh slapper or a edge of your seat movie. But it's still always enjoy going back to it, because, I think it does have a high hit rate in good set pieces and good gags that just are nicely balanced, and there's always a few I've sort of forgot they're coming. Even though I've seen this quite a few times over the years, and you just think, oh yes, I've forgotten about that. Which is, I think that's a sign of a good movie, that it stands up to, frequent rewatches, and can still, pull a swerve on you now and again.
I think, Well, I'll get to my one in a minute, but I think you're right. I think the thing is, it's kind of, a lot of it is also, it's one of those comedies that that does reward a rewatch, because there are bits that you miss in the time, like physics kind of not physics, Fassini's sort of monologue about the iocane powder. And, it's just this long rambling thing, and it kind of hits you in one big wall of text, and then you start to notice sort of gags within it. Things like, there's two rules of anything, 1, never start a land war in Asia, and 2, never mess with a Sicilian when death is on the line. And it's not a particularly funny gag, but when loaded up with all the other stuff about Australia, and so because it's Australian in origin, you have to think upside down and all this kind of thing. Yeah. And it's actually it's a really funny monologue, but the problem is it just comes at you in this kind of thing. And then every now and again you just cut back to the man in black going, "You're stalling. It won't work." And you're like, "I'm just getting started," sort of thing. And watch it again, and that whole monologue becomes funnier. And similarly with Chris Sarandon's, Prince Humperdinck, "You're bluffing." Maybe pig. And it's just like, drop your sword. And it's just like, fuck yes.
Yep.
But anyway, don't worry, I'll get to that in a minute. Go on. So yeah, overall you liked it then, Jim? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was a welcome rewatch, and I must say, my sinuses were at the worst yesterday. I actually forgot about them hurting for a couple of hours. So that's a good recommendation for a movie.
There you go. Stick that on the poster for the Patreon. I forgot about my hurting sinuses. The Princess Bride anesthetizes your brain. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
iocane.
I did spot a gaff, though.
Go on.
Well, when the dread Pirate Roberts hands over the tube and he says, "Smell this," and he goes, "I can't smell anything." Yes, it's odorless and tasteless. But when the Prince Humperdinck arrives on the scene, he picks up the tube, sniffs it, and goes, iocane powder.
Yeah.
How would you know?
But isn't that... I thought that was the whole point, was that he was kind of assuming that she'd be dead. So he kind of was assuming that was already a thing. Or maybe just, I don't know, maybe I think you're right, it's a gaff.
He hired Fassini, so he would know.
Or a very, very subtle gag.
Yeah, or a subtle gag. No, it wasn't Fassini who had it, though.
Oh, no, it wasn't that.
Man in Black.
Roberts, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, this is the Forest of Doom, fire. Was it
Fire Swamp?
Fire Swamp. Yeah, no one's ever survived. Oh, you're just saying that because no one's ever made it through.
No, it's because nobody ever has.
Nobody ever has, yeah. Sorry. Anyway, Darren, go on then. What do you think of it?
Oh, man. I absolutely fucking adore this film. I'm a big fan of this film. I've got at least 2 copies of it. I think I've got one on DVD.
Yeah.
And I've got the special edition Blu-ray, which I bought a little while ago as well. Which I think is actually digitally remastered and everything like this. I've actually still got it I haven't actually taken it out and had a look at it, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Is that the one you've got, Jim?
It is, yes.
Yeah, it's the green sort of cover, isn't it?
Nice indeed.
Yeah, it's lovely. So many special features on it as well, with all the actual commentary stuff and whatever from the original DVDs that I've got. And I think there's some other stuff on there as well to go with it. Not bad for £6.
Not bad.
There you
Thumbs
go.
up.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Oh man, I saw this film 2 years after it came out. It was recommended to me by someone I was dating at the time. We sat and watched it and we laughed. I think we laughed all the way through it. It was I love the humour in this film. As I say, it's very subtle, and I've got to say, in most films where you do have the lead. For me, a lot of films don't have very interesting leads when it comes to adventure films. It's the people that surround them that are good. But I really like Wesley. I think he's a great character. I think it is Errol Flynn style humour that really tickles me every time. It's that very sort of like cut glass sort of accent.
Yes. Yeah.
And the delivery, the sort of like the put downs.
Yeah. You're an excellent swordsman. I'd hate to kill you. I'd hate to kill you. I'd hate to kill you. I'd hate to die.
Well, we'll be living in the forest of eternal fire. Do feel free to drop round and get yourself killed anytime you like.
that sort of thing, those sort of lines, you know, it's just full of stuff to quote, you know, especially the famous one. Well, you know, you killed my father, prepared to die. You know?
Yeah,
but
Montoya.
my favourite bit about that speech is where he goes, "Offer me anything," and he goes, "Oh, yes, anything you want." He goes,
Money.
I want, yeah, money, land, whatever." And he
power.
says, "I want my father back, you son of a bitch," and then stabs him, and it's just like,
Yeah.
And of course, there is that. There is a story that Mandy Patinkin's actually said about that whole speech, about the fact that his dad, his own father, had died. He died of cancer.
Yeah.
And he basically, it was kind of a bit of a cathartic thing for him to do that scene, because it was, he imagined the man with the 6 fingers to be the cancer.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's quite an emotional, there's some emotional weight behind it.
My name is Inigo Montoya. Prepare to die. Stop saying that. He's Inigo Montoya.
Exactly.
That.
But, you know, there are so many other lines in there as well. And, of course, one that I always, I love, it never gets old for me, and that's Peter Cook. Marriage! Marriage!
Wow, 12. Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love his performance in that. See, for me, everybody's on point in this film. Even Andre the Giant. You can see even he has some sort of comedy timing in there. You know, he's not totally lacking of it. And it's maybe his accent that kind of does overshadow some of the lines, but I still think, you know, he plays the part well. I do like the bit where he's got Wesley and Randy, but, you know, Inigo's sort of like saying he wants to get into this door, and he just props Wesley up against the suit of armour and runs around and just slaps it with one hand and blows the door off the hinges.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, there you go, thank you very much. And it goes bang, oh no, I've lost the Dread Pirate Roberts. Where the fuck has he gone?
Yeah.
You know?
You've lost. Yeah. Give me the tower key. What tower key? And then suddenly Andre the Giant turns up. Oh, this tower key?
Yeah. And it's the way that the conversations that go on as well, and it's the stuff that goes on around those conversations, the action, or should I say, the things that is happening on screen. Like going back to the fire swamp, it's the bit where Wesley and Princess Buttercup are walking through the fire swamp, and they're chatting away, and without even thinking about it, he lifts her up at one point and just puts her over one side, and the jet of flame shoots out.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just the conversation just carries on as he's doing it. You know, it's just this matter of fact thing.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but the trees are quite lovely.
I like that whole chase, the whole chase where the Dread Pirate Roberts just first shows up, you know, and it's like you got and Jaeger was there. It's like, you know, are you sure no one's following us? Why do you say these things? Because that boat's been with us all this time. Oh, it's probably a fishing vessel. Yeah. And then it's the trials. It's the you know, they're going up against the swordsman, and then the giant, and then you know the brains of the operation.
Yeah.
As all that, they're all so beautifully put together. I love the sword fighting as well.
Yeah.
And it's that one-upmanship in there as well, especially the bit where you got Inigo jumps off the thing, does a little swing on the bar, and then lands. And then, of course, the man in black comes over, does a double fucking
flip.
Somersault, and then a flip, and lands perfectly. And then he goes, "Oh, ayo." It's just,
ayo.
Just that pause.
No one of consequence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love the whole thing, just the way it's put together, the script, the action in it, and the fact that it is a light and fluffy movie. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, even to the point where at the end suddenly, it's like, you know, I wish we had a Holocaust cloak. You went, oh, what, you mean one like this? Where'd you get that? Oh, it was in Miracle Max's.
I took it.
Yeah, I took it. He said I could have it. It's that kind of thing. You know, it's like you just go with it. You know, it's I can't fault this movie. It is possibly my most chicken soup for the soul film in my entire list of chicken soup for the soul films. It's right up there, if not at number one, and it's bloody well close to it. Because it makes me feel the same every single time, right down to the very last bit where Peter Falk turns to the camera and just says, "As you wish." It's just like,
oh,
it's that fluffy feeling.
Yeah.
It is. It's just like the inside of a croquet potato. It's just it's fluff. It's just nice and warm and cozy, and there's not enough of that in this fucking world at the moment. It really isn't, and we could do with more of that, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, definitely.
You know, so for me, this film is like medicine. It's just it just makes me feel better every time I watch it.
Cool.
So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumbs up from me all the time.
Nice. I mean, go on. Sorry, Elton.
No, I've just found that he does the voice of the dinosaur in Toy Story.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Know that?
Wesley, what's his name?
Wesley Shawn.
Oh, yeah, Sean Wesley or whatever his name is.
Sean Wesley, sorry.
Wesley Shawn. Anyway. Yeah, that's right. He's Rex. Yeah. I mean, I can't really add an awful lot to this. I mean, I saw this on video when it pretty much as soon as it landed. I've seen it probably on and off sort of pretty much at least once a year. And now and Katie found it. We were having a wet Sunday afternoon, and I got it online, got a digital copy, and watched it. And then she's just took off with it. And it got to the point where we had on the 30th anniversary, they had one night on the 30th anniversary where it actually came out of the cinema again. And
I did see it at the Prince Charles with Carrie Elwes as well. He was there doing a Q&A.
Yeah, well, I saw it at the what was it, the Picture House in Greenwich.
Oh, right, okay.
And it was great. It was one of those times when you go to a cinema and you know that everyone's there to see it, not to arse about, not to fuck about with their phones, not to talk to people about what happened yesterday or all that other shit that happens in the cinema, which makes me decide that quite possibly the human race needs to end right now. And I watched it that time, 30th anniversary, and I had a whole new appreciation of it. I was watching it again through her eyes as she went to see it, and it was just... And then you're sitting in a room full of people who all love to see it, and you kind of go, well, there you go. There's the film. That's the film right there. You can judge a film by its fandom almost. And everyone just sitting there just appreciating it and loving it. It's... The thing for me always works is the script. I mean, all of that stuff, right down to the little nuances, like, you know, I'll build a summer house. I wouldn't build a summer house here, but the trees are lovely. Or the ROUSs.
Yeah.
What's that?
Rodents of unusual size.
Yeah. And all that stuff with the Fred Savage kid character, you know, sort of, we can move on if you like. I don't have to, if it's got, you know, it's okay, Grandad, you know, and all that kind of dialogue. It's just lovely. It's just well pitched. Going back to what I said before, I can see why people now would look at it and be underwhelmed, because it, like Spinal Tap, which came before it, to which I think Princess Bride owes a lot in terms of how it's delivered. I think the problem is that it's too ingrained. It's too ingrained now. It's like showing Star Wars to someone who's never seen it before. You've never seen Star Wars? Fucking watch it. And it's like, yeah, but we've seen 300,000 films that have spawned off it now, and someone coming to it new is just going to go, yeah. And
I think, you know what? Thinking about it now, I think Shrek needs to pay. You know, I mean, that pays homage to the kind
Shrek
of
owes an awful
fairy
lot to
tale
it.
storytelling that it does.
Yeah.
Postmodern thing.
Yeah, that whole postmodern metatextual stuff of kind of like acknowledging the flaws but not sending them up, just kind of just making everyone aware that everyone's aware that these things are cliche.
Yep.
You know, right, you know, I mean, Shrek's one kind of sums it up with the whole Disney thing when the Cameron Diaz character's having the sing-song with all the birds, and then sort of starts that sort of high-pitched note battle with the bluebird that then promptly goes so high it basically bursts into flame.
Yep.
Or pops, doesn't it?
Yep.
And, yeah, that sort of stuff comes from The Princess Bride. And, yeah, I mean, I think all the acting is really well pitched, except maybe Miracle Max, who kind of goes off on a Saturday Night Live tangent. And Mel Smith, who initially is quite funny, with that whole. Oh yeah, no, everybody says that. Yeah, but overall, I think I agree with Elton that it sags in the middle. The bit that you always remember with The Princess Bride is pretty much the rollicking stuff that takes you right up to the end of the forest of the pit of fire. Excuse me. And then the film just kind of goes and stops until Wesley has to die and then come back again, and and then the band has to get back together again with Physic and Inigo. And once they're back together again, everything's back off and running, but you have to have that bit in the middle that you have to kind of just slog through, with the actual plot, of Humperdinck gonna kill her and, start a war with Gilda and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, really? Does that really matter? But, but it all does matter in the end, because it suddenly sets the stakes up for quite a nice finale. A three-way finale as well, let's be honest. There's because there's Wesley versus Humperdinck, there's the three, the six-fingered man and Inigo, and then obviously you've got the whole sort of bit of, the princess doesn't want to get married, as she's walking down with Prince Humperdinck's dad, you're lovely, but soon I will be dead. I'm going to go.
That's nice.
That's nice.
She kissed me.
Yeah, she kissed me. So, yeah, I mean, I can't really add much more to it, other than to say I don't see it as a perfect film. I see it as a film that is really well done, really well made, and I can appreciate a lot. I mean, I don't. I kind of appreciate enough that I overlook any flaws that it has, but I'm not going to sit there and say that it doesn't have flaws. And I'm also not going to sit there and say that people who go, "Oh, what was that all about?" When they've seen it for the first time. Because, as I said before, if you got 100 people who suddenly pop out of nowhere on the internet and say, "Oh my God, you've never watched it before, you've got to watch it because it's fucking perfect," everyone's going to be on the back foot and saying, "Well, fuck off, unless this film absolutely blows my socks off, gives me a blowjob, beer and a pizza, it's not as good as you say it is." And, same with, I don't know, showing people Airplane or Life of Brian or any of these other ones which have literally become pop culture bedrock. Stuff that people, you can, as you say, that bloke, was walking around dropping his keys and still having people leap out from behind cars and go, "Inconceivable." Yeah, which is fine, but also, really, if no one gets that, all they know is the inconceivable bit. They just know the meme. And so, it's ruining the power of it or watering it down. And kind of going back to the actual Facebook group, we got people like, for example, Fred Dr. Scum Lubnow, who does Lovecraftian Science.wordpress.com, and he says, again, it's another movie my wife and daughter and I watched. First time we've all seen The Princess Bride. They enjoyed the movie. Overall, for me, I think it was okay. I was a little underwhelmed, as someone else has already stated. I think hearing for years what a great movie it was put my expectations a little too high. It was okay, but not great. Nothing I would make an effort to see again, but again, my wife and daughter loved it. Which gets response from Stuart Green saying, "I'm glad I saw it when I did when I was young, as before it was built up. I can't imagine how high expectations would be if I was to watch it for the first time now. I think it's movie perfection, but it's probably not. That's probably helped by seeing it before I heard about it and nostalgia. Hashtag as you wish. Inconceivable. My name is." And yeah, the nostalgia is definitely very strong. I mean, Zarish Catlin Hallett said, I'd watched it, I heard about it for years and just assumed it was rubbish. Will maybe watched it and I loved it. While Mike Martin on the Facebook group said, I've said it somewhere else before, but it tries a bit too hard to be cute and quirky and somehow feels a bit disingenuous. Which, again, I can see how that might well be the case. Yeah, so where is the other thing? I mean, there was another one. There was another bit of feedback we got. Alan Wilby said that he was looking forward to watching it and found it a bit underwhelming, which seems to be the running theme. If underwhelmed, if I'm honest, it's not as bad, but it's not great. It's a bit overrated. There's some funny lines and some nice touches here and there, and I will give it another watch sometime, as repeat viewings may warm me to it a bit more. Inconceivable, I've heard. See, it's all rubbed off on me. While Chris Johnson. Now, this one did press my buttons a bit. Feedback, not bad, but nothing to write home about. Which, I don't want to be that guy, but when you see someone sort of go, "Yay, Batman versus Superman, great, thumbs up," and then coming down on this, it's like, "Oh, fuck off." But I understand. Again, it's the whole everything gets set up. If you're expecting something you don't get, then it's definitely not going to work for you.
I think if I'd watched this maybe 5 years ago, then the people that I was talking to around me might have put me off. I'm glad I left it for a little while longer because it was being hyped up to me. I think I've come into this viewing with very little hype in my mind of this.
Yeah.
It hasn't been you guys just going, "Oh, it's amazing, it's brilliant, it's wonderful, you need to watch this, you need to see this so many times. Why haven't you seen this?" Yeah, you guys haven't done that.
No.
I haven't got that from the Facebook group either. It just, it's almost like I've taken it at my own pace and watched it. And so I think that really does help. It definitely your state of mind going into this film.
Yes. Will definitely affect it. I mean, hello? Have you gone?
No, sorry, I needed a cough right there and then.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, the thing is, the thing with any film like this, I mean, doesn't matter whether it's this film or, I don't know, I mean, I think there's half a dozen films that leap to mind where you say, if you've not seen the sort of origin film, so to speak, but you've seen everything that's come afterwards, then it's going to be underwhelming. And like I say, Star Wars is the kind of straightforward touchstone. Jaws would be another one for undersea monsters, bitey. If you've not seen those classics, but you've seen what's come afterwards, Alien is another one.
Yeah.
How many thousands of films have you seen that spun off from those kind of films and ripped them off hundreds and hundreds of times? Mm-hmm. And, if you're coming at it backwards, you'll be like, really?
You're not going to get it.
No, you're not going to get it. And that's not to denigrate people being underwhelmed, because, again, like I say, it's not that you don't get it. It's just that you've seen other stuff that's built upon what Princess Bride started off as.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I'd say that was true. There are films out there that have only just been made of really sort of like, old properties that we've seen in 1,000 times in other movies, but now, because of that, it's kind of spoilt that film, the original material, when it comes out, because all that stuff's already been done. It's not that fault, because this is the pioneer, but in today's society, a lot of people are just not, shall we say, they're not aware of that original material. They just take it, such with
face value.
Cover versions of some songs today. People think that that's the original. It's like, no, this was done way before.
Well, Katie was playing something on Lexa this afternoon, which had Tom's Diner. You remember Suzanne Vega's Tom's Diner? Yeah, but it's mixed into some sort of mad fucking rock track.
Oh, right. Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, you've heard this?" And I'm like, "Well, I've heard the original, but I haven't heard this." And it's like, and it's the same thing, so suddenly playing a Tom's Diner go, it's going to be like, right, and, I mean, I think the real comparison would be, take someone who's seen Guardians of the Galaxy and then show them Star Wars. If they've never seen Star Wars, they're going to be like, it's not as fun,
Well, here's a real challenge for you. Get a despecialised version of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And play in that.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, take a laser copy version of Star Wars, the one that's untampered, completely and utterly. Watch that and see what you think of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. And without the nostalgia attached to it, you'll find that most people will just go,
Yep.
I want to watch the one with the raccoon and the talking tree, not a man dressed like a piece of Allied Carpets offcut. But that's the thing. I mean, I'm not just trying to, like I say, knock people who didn't like it or found it underwhelming, because that's exactly the point. That's exactly what I was expecting. So yeah, it's just interesting to see how the hype has kind of backlashed against it almost. So yeah, but overall, I have to say for myself, just can't really add more than I've already added. You guys have already said. I mean, I think it's a witty film. I think it's also got that replay value. So for those of you who are on the fence as to whether or not you really liked it or you weren't quite as into it as you thought you should be, or watch it again, give it a few weeks, watch it again and see how you get on with it, because I tell you what, you may find the second time round, when you know what's coming, you know the structure of the film, and you kind of don't have to worry about the plot so much as the dialogue, you may find you'll get more out of it. Also, again, watch out for the young'uns who have seen things like Stardust, which is another one. Have you seen that? Stardust?
Oh yeah, I've seen Stardust. Yeah.
See, now that's a film that I didn't like upon initial viewing, and yet that's kind of grown on me because, again, Katie's all over that. She's into this kind of weird sort of meta fantasy stuff, and I've seen that now a couple of times. And apart from not being able to get over the shock of seeing the guy who plays Daredevil as the hero, and also Robert De Niro in a dress. But apart from that, I think it's quite a good film actually, and it gets better the more you watch it.
Yeah.
And I think the same is true for Princess Bride. But again, Stardust builds off of Princess Bride, and that's a distance of like nearly 25 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, so overall, I say thumbs up, but I understand if people aren't sort of totally sold on it. But yeah, there you go. Oh, I know that. There was a couple of others. I think someone like Sarah Lizelle turned around and said she just absolutely hated it. Which again, perfectly fine. I can't find the comments, mind you, but I'll go to the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, and you'll find them there under the banner. So anyway, now it's time for us to that's pretty good, isn't it? Yep. Sorry, I was just scrolling through Facebook trying to look for the comments, and then found someone, one of the artists I follow, Warren Lau, has just put up a picture of Supergirl, which is very, very well done.
It's excellent. That's
Superb.
A fantastic drawing. That.
Yeah. So anyway, go to the art of Warren Lau, Louw, and check it out. Right, so anyway, that's that for this episode. Before we go through the touting of our stuff and our wares, let's tell you what we're going to do next week. Next week, we were going to do Audition. Kitty, 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 kitty. But we were having all sorts of trouble trying to get hold of it. Not assured that we were going to get hold of it, I decided to ask the guys if maybe what we do is we do another film instead, one that none of us have seen, which has literally only come out on Netflix this week.
2 days ago, actually.
2 days as of a recording, yeah. Which is the Alex Garland film Annihilation.
Yeah.
Starring Tessa Thompson and Natalie Portman and I should remember half of these. Oscar Isaac, and it got a cinema release in the States, and it got a cinema release in China, and may get one in Europe. But controversially, I think in a number of key territories, one of them being the UK, it's been released direct to Netflix, which has caused people a little confusion because a lot of reviews have been good. It's been written and directed by Alex Garland, whose last full writing directing credit was Ex Machina, and also he wrote the Dread film. Did he direct that as well? Yeah, I think he directed that as well.
No.
Who directed that?
Oh, I can't remember the director's name. It wasn't Alex Garland.
No, okay. He wrote the Dredd film though, didn't he?
The 2012 one.
Yeah, the 2012 one. Yeah. And he and this may put a few people off, but he also did he also wrote Sunshine as well, and 28 Days Later. So, there is a pedigree, and so
Definitely.
to say that this film wasn't good enough to be released in the UK or had to go straight to video on demand is a bit odd. So we're going to check it out. I was just going to check it out on my own, and then I suddenly thought, well, no. After that whole Cloverfield paracetamol debacle, where we all kind of watched it in dribs and drabs and took like 4 weeks to get round to just saying, and he's just an arm in a box. I decided that what we do is we watch that instead. We will do Audition because I would really like Elton to watch Audition, but we may leave that to the horror season. And
It's a horror movie.
well, no, no. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
We might not even leave it to the horror season. We might leave it till episode 353. But yeah. We'll see. Don't worry. It's not really horror. It's just, yeah. Look, I'm not digging myself a hole and telling you what I think it is.
Just leave it.
You're just going to have to see it. So next week we're going to be doing Annihilation, which you can find exclusively on Netflix, or if you're overseas, you can find it in the cinemas right now. If you want to leave any comments about it, leave it on the Black Dog Facebook group, as I said, which is facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast. From now on, I will be putting a picture of the film in the banner on the group, and then basically all you do is you just leave your comments under that picture. So it's easy to find. You just click on the banner, leave a comment, and we'll read them out as we have done today. And that's it. So before we go, Jim, would you like to tell us all about this week's Hypnagoria and future stuff?
Well, it's this week. I'm reviewing the classic Creature from the Black Lagoon, and this little bonus reminiscence episode as well out as well. This weekend, I'm looking at 2 sequels, and not long after that, I'm reviewing The Shape of Water, which is kind of unofficially the 4th film in the series.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And Elton.
Oh, what can you catch me on? You can catch me on this week on the From the Earth to the Moon podcast, where we're talking about the episode called Spider. That's me and Andy Plastides. And it's probably the best episode so far. So that was a nice surprise. It's all about the LEM and the design of the lunar module. Very, very geeky stuff.
Nice.
And tomorrow night, God willing, probably will be going live on Shonky Lab. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, though.
That's Wednesday, the 14th of March. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Okie dokie. And, yeah. Anything else? You're doing your Grand Prix podcast soon, aren't you?
Yeah, or put another one out there. Grand Prix podcast. Just go along to rogue2media.com. Everything's there.
Including links to the Patreon. And there's links to Jim's Patreon on hypnagoria.blogspot.com, I believe.
Yep.
Cool. So go Patreon them. Links for us, the Black Dog side of things. Just look for Black Dog Podcast wherever you can, on Twitter, on Facebook group, and then if you're looking for me individually, you can find me on Twitter as Cartoon Beardy. Not posting much at the moment, but there you go. Same goes for Instagram. And you can also donate a little bit to keep the things coming in and repaired and replaced and constant running costs and etc. by going to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/blackdogpodcast. And that's about it. Got anything to plug down? That hole that you're deflating from.
Yeah, that hole.
Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, then. Well, then that's it then. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Elton. Thank you, Darren.
Not a problem.
Okay. And we'll see you all next week for what could be a very, very strange film, Annihilation. So, until then, take care. See you soon. Tatty bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Oh, bollocks to it.